Opera Chat with Matt. People pay money to hear this. Hi, everyone, and welcome to Opera Chat with Matt. Today we have Leah Crocetto. Did I say it right? I said it perfect, right?
Perfectly.
So we have Leah Crocetto with us, who is a fabulous soprano and who has also been one of our, has been the resident in artist. The resident in artist.
The resident
Perfect.
and artist.
The artist in residence at WNO. The lucky K. Fritz Young artists have been able to work with her during this year, and unfortunately that got cut short. But I think we're about to start up again, actually, which is fantastic.
We're hoping.
Let's start with who you are. Give us a little Wikipedia summary of who you are, where you're from, where you went to school, who you worked with, all that.
Okay, well, I am Leah Crocetto. I started as a jazz singer. I did not go to school for music. I have a degree in musical theater, actually, with an emphasis in acting, believe it or not.
Oh, who would have thought?
I know, right? Who would have thought? And I graduated from Siena Heights University in Adrian, Michigan, which is where I grew up. Let's see. I always wanted to be an opera singer, though. I come from a big Italian family, and my family always played opera and classical music, and it was just a part of the repertoire. It wasn't considered, elitist or this other form of music or opera. It was music. Sure. I grew up with it being a normal part of my vocabulary, which was great. And I saw my first opera when I was 11. And it was Carmen, and it made me want to sing opera. And then I saw Tosca the next year, and it changed my life and made me dive in with all that I had as a teenager. So
love it.
Yeah, so that's what I did, and won a bunch of competitions, won the Met competition, won the Jose Iturbi competition in Los Angeles. Lots of competitions, I can't remember them all. And I represented the U.S. in Cardiff Singer of the World in 2011. I signed with my manager in 2008, Bill Gary at Columbia Artist.
Fantastic. And
I was in Marilla at the time. I was a Marilla baby in 2008. And then Marilla's the Young Artist Program with the San Francisco Opera. And then they asked me to stay on to be an Adler Fellow. So I was there for 3 more years. And I sort of cut my teeth in the opera acting scene in San Francisco. And they gave me great opportunities. I made my debut in Europe, actually, singing Trovatore at the Bordeaux National Opera in Bordeaux, France. And That's an amazing company. And it was so much fun. And then I sang 11 performances of Leah in Turandot in San Francisco. So those were my opera professional debuts. Yeah, and now I get to sing all over the world, and it's great fun and hard as hell. And I get to work with young artists that are amazing now, and it's really cool that I know you know how I feel about you, Matt Pierce. I don't even need to say it, but I will say it. But it's really cool that at this stage of my career that people are asking me for advice and are coming to me for technique questions, and that companies are taking me seriously enough to ask me to work with their young people. I consider Washington National Opera to be my home theater, and they have just, boosted my career immensely. I love singing there. I've sung, 6 roles there now.
Sure.
And finally, Rob Ainsley asked me to be the resident artist this year. And it's been amazingly fulfilling to get to work with you guys and to just hear your high C develop has been amazing. Right. You're still working on that, right?
Still working on it from my basement.
Yes, I love it. Sing for Jesus from your basement.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, so that's me in a nutshell.
So tell me about some of the teachers that you've worked with and coaches that have been really formative to your career, and who are you working with now?
Yeah, so my teacher since I was 18 is Arnold Rawls. He's a
Hmm.
tenor. I learned to sing from a tenor. I learned, I work best, I think, with tenors.
Right.
But that's not to say that I don't have any very strong women in my past either. So,
Sure.
Sherry Greenewald was a huge influence in me. She runs the Young Artist Program in San Francisco.
Yeah.
I studied with her for 4 years while I was out there.
Oh, great.
I still ask her questions to this day.
Good.
Um, my teacher now, I would say, is Neil Shikoff. I love Neil. I know you work with him as well.
Sure do.
Neil speaks a different language than any other teacher I've ever worked with,
Very much.
but I get him, and we want the same things out of the voice. And I like that he asks questions about what I did to make a certain sound. So then it makes
Sure.
me think. So it's an active lesson, which I prefer because then it makes me think. With Mark Markham is one of the best coaches in the world, and he also happens to be one of my best friends and my family. He is my guru. He gets me as a human being too, so he knows when I'm having a mental breakdown, and he's like, shut your mouth, you crazy singer, and do what you do. So
Do what you do. That's right.
exactly.
That's right.
Exactly.
We all need that person in our lives.
Oh, we do, don't we? We do. Who else have I worked with? I've worked with, I don't know, too many to say. Cesar Ulloa in San Francisco as well. He's an amazing teacher. My mentor to this day is Matthew Epstein.
Absolutely.
He is,
A guru.
the guru. Exactly. He's the guru. But he's, he's got this reputation for being the most hated man in opera. And he prides himself in that because he's
Right.
so damn opinionated. And
Absolutely.
I think that's important. I don't think you can sugarcoat things and succeed. So I respect that about him.
Absolutely.
He was my first manager too. So
Oh.
yeah. So, and then he retired a year later. So,
Perfect.
so I had him.
Big long cycle.
He set me up for the long haul, and he's still in my life. So I still run everything by him. He's great.
Beautiful. Do you have any sort of odd rituals before you perform? What's kind of your routine before either before you go backstage or while you're backstage getting ready to do a show that night?
Yeah, I'm not a routine person. I should be in some aspects, but I'm not. I think before a show, I always have to hydrate. That's a huge thing for me. I drink
Sure.
a million gallons of water, and I always take a walk on a show day too, because I don't work out heavy on a show day because I don't want to exhaust myself.
Be worn out. Right?
Yeah, because what we do is so physical. So I definitely take walks. I do have a routine half hour before. I have ginger tea,
Mm-hmm.
and I start my warm-ups a half hour before. Typically, on a show day, I don't sing until I get to the theater. And a lot of people are surprised when I say that, because a lot of singers that I know check their voice all day long.
Right.
Now, me, I know it's going to be there.
Sure.
And
And you'll know if it's not.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
know. You'll
Right.
know if it's not, because I gotta get that money, okay? You know what I'm
That's
saying?
right. Hey.
So I'll wake up and I'll do some humming. I'll be like, okay, it's there, great. And then that's all the singing I'll do until 30 minutes before curtain. And then I'm doing my full warm up, which sometimes gets tricky on opening night, because opening night, everybody comes to visit your dressing room.
Right.
So sometimes that schedule has to be pushed, because Lord knows the presenters don't like to hold the curtain for the soprano.
Hey. So let's talk Corona. What how has it affected you? But also, what are you doing in the meantime while you're waiting for gigs to start back up?
Yeah, so the virus has affected me greatly. I have friends who have had it, so emotionally it's affected me. It's affected me financially, and I can't even tell you how much. It's 2/3 of my salary down the drain for the year.
Yeah.
It's affected me emotionally. on a deep, deep level. Like, so much so that today is the first day that I actually did a warm up.
Wow.
I used my voice for the first time in an operatic way today because I felt inspired to do it.
Sure.
Finally, for the first time. There are dark days. Yesterday was really hard because I'm also trying to plan a move virtually through all of this. And it all sort of came to a head yesterday and really exploded in my brain. So there's that. There's the grief that's happening for my art form, and the inability to sort of go to that deep place as an artist that we get to go to as opera singers. There's something to be said about singing for a public, you know?
That's exactly right. I mean, there's something to be said for performing with another musician.
Oh,
You know, even not being able to have a
collaborating.
pianist with us, right? That's heart-wrenching as well.
It's been
You know.
brutal. Yeah, and I'm finally Thomas Morris,
Mhm.
co-founder of Artist Relief Tree,
That's
also
right.
fabulous Washington National Opera pianist
And good friend.
and good friend. Asked me to collaborate with him and do a song for the Artist Relief Tree. And he asked me weeks ago. And finally we did it this past weekend. I haven't been able to sing until now. And so we're going to put that out soon, and it's going to be
Fantastic. It's gonna be
going to be
fantastic.
special. I'm
gonna
really
be great.
excited about it. It's one of my favorite songs by Randy
And for
Newman.
those that don't know what the Artist Relief Tree is, an Artist Relief Tree was started by a few singers and a few, younger people in this industry that wanted to be able to take in donations and be able to fund. I think it's $250. Is that right? $250 per person that has lost their contract or something.
I think
People
it's
that are
more than
artists
that.
that it
But I
might
don't
be more
know.
than that. They're giving people money if they've lost gigs and are in financial hardship because of the loss. And they were originally set to try and only raise $10,000, and they're upwards of $230,000 now.
I think their
And
goal is $1 million.
yeah, so it's pretty incredible to see basically a homegrown relief project with a budget trying to hit $10,000 hit. Now trying to target $1 million. It's a fantastic, fantastic thing. So
The
if you
fact
have
that
the
it's
funds, donate.
yes, and the fact that it's run by artists is
Right.
huge. By singers and pianists who themselves need the money.
Absolutely.
And none of them are getting anything out of it either. It's not a for-profit thing. They're not taking any off of the top. It's a strictly
It's just people helping people. And it's one of the most
absolutely
wholesome things that I've ever seen. So
same.
please, if you have the funds, go for it.
Yeah, we'll link it in the video.
Absolutely will.
Oh, you asked me what I was doing in the meantime.
Yeah, in the meantime, what else is going on?
Yeah, so since I'm not really singing right now or performing, I started a little series on Instagram called Live with Leah, and it's freaking fabulous. It's been amazing to have all of my dearest friends in the business come and chat with me. My first guest was Amanda Majeski, then I had Jamie Barton on twice, and Angela Mead, and today I had David Lomeli, who is one of the most dynamic leaders in the industry now. He's the casting director for Dallas Opera as well as Munich. He has his finger on the pulse, to be sure. And it was and he and I go way back. We were in Marilla and Adler's together. So it was really cool to speak with him about the shape of opera and what it's going to be after Corona.
Right.
And that is on my Instagram, which is at Leah Crocetto, and it's there for 24 hours. So, which I don't know that it'll probably be gone by the time this
It'll
video
be gone by the
airs.
time that this comes out, but keep checking it out. When do you do those?
I do them Tuesdays and Fridays at 3 p.m.
So what other hobbies do you have? What other hobbies, what outside of musical things do you like to do?
Oh, that's a good question. I'm a big reader. I sound like such a nerd, but I love reading. I also love playing video games. It's my favorite pastime.
What are you playing?
Right now, I'm working my way through all of the Lara Croft games, the newer ones, not the old models.
Old boxy ones.
Now, I've already gotten 100% completion on all of them.
Hey.
But now I'm working towards getting all the trophies.
There you go.
Which is really hard. But I'm going to do it. That's my
Absolutely.
project.
I believe in it.
I also love, my dog is my hobby. I love all things dog. Well, I love hiking. However, it's not really
the time.
doable right now.
That's right.
Stay home.
Exactly right. Stay home. Stay home. Wash your hands.
That's right. That's right.
That's right.
So I like to do a lot. I love to shop too. I'm a hair and makeup guru. It's like my thing.
Absolutely.
That's what
Always
I love.
looking fantastic everywhere she goes.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you. But no, makeup is a huge hobby for me. I have basically my own Sephora collection in my bathroom. My whole linen closet is full of makeup. And I don't know if that's something to be proud of, but damn it, I am.
Right. So, you've just finished a show.
Mm-hmm.
It's 11/12:30 at night. You're hungry. Where do you go?
Oh. So
I'm a McDonald's boy, so.
You're a McDonald's. So I've been known to do a drive-by at McDonald's.
There you go.
But not in my recent years, I have to say. But because where in DC? Where? Actually, that's a lie. There is a McDonald's just not too far from me.
Just down the road. There you go.
But so I am a huge Mexican food fiend, and I always have taco meat in my fridge. Always. So usually I'll make myself a taco when I come home.
Nice little taco.
A taco and a tequila. That's my go-to after
Go-to
show.
post-show nosh. Love it. So you talked about jazz. Jazz was a huge thing. Musical theater was a huge thing. Tell me more about those. Do you still try to perform those when you can? What was your jazz career like in New York? And, those sorts of things.
So that's a really hard life, and I really didn't know how to break into it. So it was really hard for me because I was waiting tables at the same time. It is a career that does not lend itself to stability even more so than opera, which, if you can believe that. I know. So I still sing it to this day, and I still sing musical theater. I usually put a set of those songs at the end of my recital. In fact, I belted The Man That Got Away on the Carnegie Hall stage. Hey. So that was fun. I always do it. Jazz plays a huge part in my life, and musical theater and all the standards. I find that scatting is a lot like coloratura.
Sure.
And because of my background in jazz, I was able to pick up the coloratura very easily. It's all the same,
mechanism.
The same method, the same flow of air. You can't hold your air. You need to constantly let that air consistently flow out in order to do it correctly. So that was huge for me. And yeah, I still sing it. It's my go-to song to sing in my apartment, really, are those kind of songs.
So I'm supposing for other types of music that you listen to, jazz is a big one. What else do you have?
Yeah, I listen to literally everything except heavy metal.
Oh, great.
I'm not a metal fan, although I do like some Metallica, but that's basically classical music with an electric guitar. So
that's right.
That doesn't really count. Let's see what else. My favorite dancing tunes are Beyonce and J-Lo.
Of course.
I love country music. Not gonna lie, I can't hold it in any longer. Country music. I'm a country music girl. I love it.
But that's okay.
That's okay. I used to hate it too, until my sister Vanessa opened my eyes. And she was like, listen to the songs, listen to the stories. And it's true. Those country musicians are storytellers. And that's what makes country music so great. And I like it a lot. I love artists like Adele and Sarah Bareilles. Celine Dion is the
divas.
I mean, Celine is like here. Everybody else is here.
That's right.
So those are my jams,
I didn't ask you what your favorite breakfast food is. I have to ask everyone now. So what's your favorite breakfast food?
It depends. I think probably my most fulfilling breakfast is what I had this morning, which is, let me describe it to you. I put a little olive oil in my pan, which is an all-clad skillet that I love.
Ooh.
And then I put some of the dried minced onion in the bottom of the pan.
Ooh.
It's very aromatic, and
Yeah.
it adds delicious flavor to whatever you're going to put in the pan.
Of
Then
course.
I grab a big honkin' handful of baby spinach, and I throw that in the pan, and I saute it, and I sprinkle a little smoked paprika on the top. So
Sure.
this morning I cut half a sweet potato, diced it up, already cooked, so it's real quick. Put it
Right.
in the pan, saute it up. It's delicious. Add a little bit more smoked paprika, salt and pepper, and then 2 fried eggs on top of that.
Ooh. Ooh.
Highly recommend.
Well, with that, then we'd like to thank Leah for coming out. I'm very excited to hopefully get to work with her later this week or next week, since she's back working with us. But thank you for being here. Thank you for being an incredible person, being an incredible singer, and I'm so glad that people are seeing you as the wonderful singer that you are, but also the wonderful teacher and mentor and friend that you are. So,
Oh, Matt, you're
we're
so sweet. Thank you so much. Seriously, that means the world to me. Thank you for having me, and I think this is such an awesome idea for you.
thank you, everybody, and we'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye.